Nisha, go just a little bit. Yeah. Come on, pictures.
Thank you all for coming tonight on this Wednesday. And everybody's very busy, but I'm very happy you all could be here. For those who don't know me, my name is Nisha Rodgers. I'm a senior studio art major, Chinese studies minor from Houston, Texas. I welcome you to my senior art exhibit called Between Here and Me. It is a series of comics with two main comic characters that explore my identity and how different versions of myself come together to overcome any external or internal battles. So if you look that way, the two the two characters, the one on the top is called Nunu, and then the other one is Nini. Like I said before, there are two versions or two sides of myself. One, the insecure, my insecurities, my fears, my worries, and the other, the confidence, the radiance, and the resilience that I have. And so those two sides of ourselves often battle each other. It's a push and pull between who we want to be and how outside, who we meet, where we are, and the things we do and how it affects our perceptions of ourselves. And in my other works, I have the blue and green platoon. They're flowers that represent the external battles that we may face. And in the end, no matter what we go through, we have to collect ourselves to then fight. Like this, fight. Whatever is coming, impacting us negatively. Yeah. In my work, material and process is very important. The work that I did junior year is very different because of the circumstances in which that I was doing the class, and now I feel like I found my footing by using acrylic paint and oil pastels. They both help for a quick and easy application, so I could then produce more work without having to worry about concept or theme. And yeah, color is important because it shows, it's very welcoming. It's almost kid-like, and having symbols like a flower, it draws you in. And once you're in, you then sit with it and look at it for longer and then really understand, like, it looks cute, but there's something inside going on. And yeah, process is very important, so I have this process wall. I have my original sketches in which all of my characters came from. I was stumped one day on the phone with my brother, and I'm like, let's sketch him. And so sketch him I did, and I was like, wait, I think I can get behind this. So I brought it up in class on critique, a little bit scared, thinking that my professor and my classmates would laugh and say that like comics aren't really serious, but they were very supportive, and so I went straight for it. I also work with print in the print lab. It's a bit different from my acrylic and oil pastels because it's a lot more physical, it's a lot more time, it's a lot more, you have to be a lot more intentional with what you're doing. And so I think finding a balance between intentionality and being sporadic is very important. And then I have a compilation of videos of my process. I don't know, I feel like process it's really important. It's really, really important. But yeah, that's all I have for now. Are there any questions or any comments? Anyone? Anything? Yes.
You mentioned how your process during your junior year was different due to circumstances.
Mhm.
What were those circumstances?
Mostly also like not knowing what it is that I really wanted to do. And then, as you all know, the back is kind of a trek to get here. I didn't have a lot of time to come in and like be physical with the work that I was doing. And so I do digital art, like the print that you guys have is a digital art. And so for like to be able to produce more without having to like physically be in the space, I turned to doing digital art. And I was happy with the work that I was making, but I knew that strictly digital work wasn't what I wanted to do. And then before, I worked a lot with like pattern making and wallpaper making. Even though I'm not doing it now, pattern and repetition is still like present in my work with like these shapes I call blobs. So yeah. Yes, Jacob?
What inspired your color palette? Because it's so vibrant and enticing. I just really want to.
Yeah, sorry. Color, I don't know, I really wanted like something that's very energetic, that I feel like it kind of represents me in a way. For like all of my close friends know me, I'm very vibrant, very energetic, moving around, very sporadic in things I do. Maybe it's the ADHD, but it's okay. But yeah, I think also like I said before, like to me they're very welcoming. They're very familiar because a lot of like, sorry. Yeah, so just having a vibrant color palette is very important to me. And then what happens when I overlay those colors, I feel like this one just kind of speaks to that, how different colors pop out depending on where they are and how they interact. But yeah. Anyone else? Yes.
Yo, all right, so as an artist, how has your confidence and awareness of your skills and the tools that you have available to yourself grown since your first year to now? And then what do you think your larger role or duty, or our larger role or duty may be as artists in society may be?
To answer the first question, if I remember, access to materials and things of such.
Your awareness and confidence of your tools. Yeah.
For some reason, freshman year, I had an identity crisis. I didn't know what I wanted to major in when I knew my whole life had been centered around the arts. So like dancing, music, theater, painting, all those things, drawing. And so being able to confidently say I'm going to major in arts regardless of like what happens after really boosted my confidence in like coming into the back, taking these classes and just going full in on it. And in terms of skill, the thing that I like about Davidson is that we have a lot of different types of classes, and I feel like each one kind of builds on top of each other, even if they're not in the same discipline. So like my drawing really informs my painting because I wouldn't consider the way I paint like how a painter does. I kind of paint how a drawer does. Yeah, but yeah, so I feel like my classes, they really inform each other and how they are. Like my sculpture also impact my drawing and my painting because I like to be physical with the work. Even sculpture is a different type of physical, it's used a lot, but I think it's very apparent in how my mark making pops off the page with the oil pastels. And so, yeah. And then your second question.
Yeah, the state of art and role of artists in the society. Yeah.
For a long time, I thought that like art was supposed to be performative in a way. Like you have to have something to talk about in order for it to be valid or like received well. And so coming to terms with like, yes, that is true. You should be knowledgeable about what you're doing and where that came from. But also, it's important to like leave an open floor and inviting people to come in and have their own interpretations and their own views and their own experiences informing your art. So you can have an art piece, you can say what it's about, but it doesn't mean that everyone felt that same way. So I never want to tell somebody how they're supposed to view it, whereas I really want them to sit with it, think about it, apply it to their life, and they can ask me about it later.
Thank you, thank you.
I have a zillion questions, but I will not ask a zillion questions. First is a comment. I hope you are very proud of the work that you've done. And my question I was sharing with a few people that I just recently learned about a documentary called Tongues Untied, which is about the intersections of Blackness, queerness, racism, etc. It was back from the 80s, which, has anybody heard of it? You have? I haven't seen it, so I can't comment on its content, but it's on my list of things to see. So just coming in here and seeing the use of your tongues made me think about just learning about this documentary. Can you share more about why the tongue is out? What does it represent for you? What does it mean for you, etc.?
I wish this is the first time I use the tongue, but it's not. If anybody had went to like last year's student exhibit, I had a sculpture called "What Does Rebellion Taste Like?" and it's it was a big plaster sculpture with mini bronze casted, very heavy, very chunky thing. But for me, in this sense, the tongue, I say it's very invasive. Like it goes through all your nooks and crannies of yourself, and it pulls out things that either they want to, or things you like and things you don't like. It's like a very invasive. I feel like you have to come to terms with all the things that make you you, and so it's just going in, weaving through. Yeah.
Thank you.
No?
All right, if no one else has one.
Okay.
No one else has one, I'll go ahead and do it, So a few of us were talking again about, I love the way in which you said it invites people in to interpret on their own, right? Like hopefully art inspires people. So the use of flowers, we could almost, I don't want to speak universally, but argue that they're meant to be special or beautiful or make people happy, perhaps in sad times, etc. But they have weapons or they're attacking, right? So can you talk to us a little bit about just, I know you already said in the beginning, a little bit about what it means to you, but just how you interpret the flowers and how they're used in your art.
As you said, they're beautiful, they're welcoming, they're special, which a lot of things in life are like that, but even the happy, special, the things you really care about can be the things that impact your life the most in a negative way. And so using the flower in a bit of comical, unserious way with the weapons and the things, I guess, kind of personifies how life imposes on ourselves and our being and our perceptions of ourselves. That's how cute. Yeah.
For acrylic and like oil pastels, do you create like a long drafts or do you kind of like go into it like straight away?
I have my sketchbook over here on the process wall, so sometimes I do sketch out my images, But when I start to think about like how I get scared or nervous very easily when applying things to the paper. And so a lot of times I just have to go right in, not thinking and just trusting and not thinking of making a mistake, because like the mistakes, they help build and make it better. Thank you. Anyone else? No? Once, twice, thrice? Okay, that's fine. On that wall, there's prints that are for take. If there's any more left, there's some stickers. They were dwindling down, but please feel free to take. If you want one and there aren't any more, you can reach out and I can get some printed for you. Thank you so